Audio test 1, 2, 3. Audio test 1, 2, 3. Hey everybody, Zach here. Thank you for coming to the Zachary Lane channel. Tornado outbreak possible this afternoon and evening across portions of Oklahoma, specifically across portions of central Oklahoma into eastern Oklahoma and eventually into Arkansas. So right now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to pop over real quick. We're going to show you the Storm Prediction Center's website for today's Public Severe Weather Outlook, other known as a PWO. Like I was just saying, this is a potential for a tornado outbreak expected today, guys. Several tornadoes are expected this evening across portions of Oklahoma. Now, what you're seeing right here in front of you is again, like I said, the Public Severe Weather Outlook, or other known as the PWO. They have that moderate risk. I'll highlight it. That moderate risk is in the red right there. That is the moderate risk for today, October 10th, 2021, and it stretches across portions of Oklahoma. I'll zoom in a little bit here so you guys can maybe see that a little bit better because I know that's kind of zoomed out. Zoom that down. So right here in the red, I'm saying this does include Oklahoma City. However, I think with that last update, they kind of dropped it a little bit down. There is another forecast update coming at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 11:30 a.m. Central Time that might bump Oklahoma City back up into that red zone. However, right here in this shaded red area is where they're expecting the worst of the tornadoes to be this evening, and then eventually pushing into eastern Oklahoma and maybe even into western Arkansas as the night goes on. So that's something to think about, right? Obviously, October, people kind of let their guard down when it comes to severe weather. They're not really expecting to they're not really expecting to get tornadoes in October, but here we are, right? And this is one of the biggest tornado setups in October for Oklahoma or anywhere in the central Great Plains since October of 1998. Okay, so it has been 23 years or so since we've had a really good setup like this in October in Oklahoma. So people's guards are a little bit down right now because they're not really expecting severe weather anymore. We're kind of pushing into the fall seasons, or kind of getting into the into the winter seasons as well. Let's go ahead and scroll down and highlight some key words here. This is the text for the PWO. Hazards tonight include several tornadoes. A few intense are possible. Guys, that wording is very, very serious. Okay, don't just think, okay, few tornadoes. Several tornadoes and a few are intense are possible. Now, what they mean by that is they're expecting lots of tornadoes. Not all of them are going to be violent. But the few intense portion of this text means that they're expecting maybe 1, 2, even up to 3 tornadoes that could be large in size and could be violent. Whether it's hitting a populated area, we know that cities like Lawton, Oklahoma, Oklahoma City, Moore, Oklahoma, all those areas that are kind of targets for those big tornadoes are in that path today. And we'll get into that here in a second. Scattered large hail, some baseball size. So on top of having multiple tornadoes possible, some of them could be extremely violent, hitting populated areas. You have large baseball-sized hail. And baseball-sized hail could potentially injure a lot of people or even kill some people. It hits just right. And then, of course, the scattering, damaging winds. Now, those winds could be, with the speed that these storms are going to be moving, these storms are expected to be going 60 to 70 miles per hour. Very fast-moving storms, which means very fast-moving tornadoes. Keep that in mind. But with that means scattered damaging winds. They could be expecting winds to be 70, 80 miles per hour on top of getting these supercells that are dropping down large tornadoes and violent tornadoes. So definitely not the situation that you want to see for populated areas or just in general, especially in October when people are kind of maybe haven't cleaned out their tornado shelters, or just aren't prepared for severe weather like they are today. However, if you live in Oklahoma, you should always be prepared for tornado weather, but today's just different. The summary: a potentially significant severe weather event is forecasted across that portion of Oklahoma into North Texas late this afternoon and into the overnight hours. Severe storms capable of large to very large hail, a few strong tornadoes and damaging winds are expected. Again, wording that needs to be paid attention to, right? A few strong tornadoes. Okay, they're meaning that there is the possibility for tornadoes to be violent. Okay, so again, preparedness actions: make sure you review your severe weather safety procedures for the possibility of dangerous weather today. So that means if you have a tornado shelter or basement, make sure it's cleared out so you can get in there. Make sure your whole family can get in there. You need a way to receive alerts, whether it's text messages, radio, TV, or even my YouTube channel, because I will be I'll be live streaming the severe weather later on this evening. You just have a way to follow the weather. We're going to zoom back out, and then we're going to go up here, and we're going to go to the Pivotal Weather website. Okay, this is for 5 p.m. I'm going to zoom in on this too, so you guys can see a little bit better. Right here, up here, where it says 5 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Okay, this is what it's forecast for. Storms really just now getting going here along that dry line just southwest of Elk City. They're starting to fire up. This is again at 5 o'clock. Let me get that back up here. 5 o'clock Central Time, 6 o'clock Eastern. Let's go ahead. Before I go any deeper, I'm going to pull up the dry line to show you guys how sharp of a cutoff this is. Dry line storms in Oklahoma are some of the more aggressive storm systems, as people usually know. If you don't know weather that well, that's a little tip for you. So this blue and green cutoff that runs all the way up here, that is what's considered a dry line. Okay, that's separating the really moist, humid air, which you get over here, like in Oklahoma City, 67 degrees with those dew points. That's pretty humid. And then back here in like Dalhart, Amarillo, Texas, Elk City, even, you get those temperatures that kind of die off a little bit now. On that previous forecast model, you had storms firing up about right here, right? So as they push into that more humid air mass, that's when you're going to get just eruption of storms blowing up on this dry line and probably going tornadic pretty early, anywhere like within this region. So areas like Lawton, Oklahoma City, Stillwater, all those areas should be on the lookout for those initial supercell development on that dry line. Again, storms should be moving really, really quickly, so you need to be paying attention to that and make sure you have a way to receive warnings. Now let's go back to the reflectivity radar, and let's go up an hour here. We're going to go to 6 p.m. Central Time, and then boom, now look at this. Within an hour, 1 hour on that dry line, keep in mind that dry line was about right here, okay? So that dry line now, like I just said, now you got these storms just popping up like popcorn, just blowing up. Elk City, huge, massive, rotating storm. This little purplish red line here, that's the updraft. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean this is producing a tornado. These updraft helicity swabs could mean large hail as well, so we need to keep that in mind. This storm right here could be producing a violent tornado on top of baseball-sized hail. And then you have these little storms out in front that you don't want to sleep on either, out in front of that dry line, all the way up to Ponca City. All these areas along that storm system, including this massive storm back here, could be tornado producers as well as very large hail producers into the evening. So this is 6 p.m. Central Time. Keep in mind the sun goes down, I think about 8 o'clock Central Time. So this is still in the daylight hours when these storms are starting to fire up. Let's jump ahead another hour. We're going to go to 7 o'clock Central Time. Now look at this. Okay, so we need to stop here and talk about this for a second. This is devastating. When you look at this and you see Oklahoma City with a massive supercell thunderstorm pushing into its metro area. You got Norman. All those are tornado targets, as everybody knows. These areas have been, I'll get to you guys' comments here in a second as well. I see them coming in now. these areas are known for the big tornadoes that have hit 1999 more Oklahoma, the 2013 more Oklahoma. So you have all those large tornado events that happen on days just similar to this, only during actual peak tornado months and not October. But that's definitely concerning. I mean, you see that large helicity swath that could be baseball size hail or it could be even a violent tornado moving right into Oklahoma City. I'm going to stop for a minute. I'm going to read your guys' comments here in case you guys have any questions. Julie asked, hi, I'm wondering when Illinois will get the severe weather. Illinois is actually on tap to get some severe weather on tomorrow, Columbus Day. I will do a severe weather outlook on that tomorrow morning, Julie. Just kind of get a way to, subscribe to this channel, get like the little notification thing. I'm going to do a live brief on that tomorrow morning as well. A few tornadoes are possible across Illinois and Indiana tomorrow. We'll get to that later. What's up, T Stingray? Yeah, man, I'm glad to be back here. Kind of glad to be back here. I know it's under not so good circumstances. Yeah, so T Stingray fan says, yeah, huge supercell could produce some violent tornadoes. Exactly what we're looking at right here. And then again up here with this blob of mess. But again, the one that's more concerning to me personally, as a person who has chased big tornadoes before and has studied these models for years, is this one approaching the Oklahoma City region. That's definitely concerning. North of Lawton, even these little cells back here could become tornado producers, even large hail producers. Julie asks, I wonder if any football games will be affected. That's a great question. I know there's no professional football teams in Oklahoma. So if there's like maybe high school games going on, absolutely. Any type of sporting event in this region probably is already canceled. I know a lot of times that companies, sporting events, schools even are really good at communicating with the National Weather Service when big weather events like this are expected today. Let me get back to comments here. Let me get off of that. Did you see the El Reno City? No, I did not. No, I was not there for that. I was actually graduating high school when that happened, so I could not attend that chase, unfortunately. Oklahoma tornadoes, terrifying. Absolutely, yeah. Oklahoma tornadoes, it's been kind of a slow couple years for Oklahoma. We know that they've had, not as many tornadoes as we expect to see in Oklahoma in the last couple of years. And then suddenly, just randomly, really, absolute monster of a potential tornado outbreak in Oklahoma in October. It's so weird how that happens sometimes, but we do know. I know I was talking with some other meteorologists and some other storm chasers, and we were kind of talking, hey, the second season's coming. That's what we call it, where we get July and August and September kind of break off. They slow down. You get some hurricanes that come in, and then all of a sudden, October, November, and sometimes December, you get these random tornado outbreaks. And we call that the second season, and we're kind of getting a feel for that here today and then tomorrow as well across the Midwest. Remember the May 31st, 1999, the monster tornado destroyed Oklahoma? Absolutely. That was actually one of the first tornadoes I studied when I was, finally mature enough to actually study severe weather. 100% remember that tornado. Obviously we don't hype. I don't hype on this page. We don't want to do that. But obviously, when you think if you live in Moore and you survived the 1999, the 2013, or 11, I don't know what year, 2011 or 2003, I can't remember now. And if you live in Moore, which is about right here, somewhere right in here, obviously you think when you see these type of forecast models, you think of those days. Certainly want to keep an eye out if you live in anywhere within the Oklahoma City metro area. That includes Oklahoma City, Norman, Moore, any of those cities that are in that area. You want to be on your toes for this potential tornado outbreak this afternoon, this evening. Do you think we'll have a severe winter in 2022, severe spring? It's really hard to tell so far. I think it's just really hard to tell. Winters are random. It's really hard to forecast exactly what kind of winter you're going to have. I think it'll be probably a pretty good winter. So we'll see though. Hopefully not. I'm not a winter fan at all. But my day job, I get paid more if it snows, so I guess I can't really complain much. Yeah, that was one of the worst tornadoes in the war in 1999 for sure. Definitely don't want anything like that today. But if you're just now tuning in, we are doing a quick brief rundown of the potential several tornadoes, tornado outbreak type weather this afternoon and evening across Oklahoma. This supercell here on the HER forecast model really punching right into Oklahoma City. This is about 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Let's go ahead and go to 8 o'clock and see how it looks. And so look at that. Okay. So 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time, the sun's going down about right now. That storm is now pushed through OKC Metro. If it plays out like that, of course, that would be a direct hit for Oklahoma City with whatever is going on in that storm, whether it's baseball-sized hail, whether it's a large tornado, whatever it is, this forecast model is showing it going right through Oklahoma City Metro. On top of that, you have multiple embedded supercells along this line of storms all the way down through Lawton. I mean, you're looking at multiple rain-wrapped tornado potential tucked away in all of this. And then you have a loner supercell in front, which is always concerning on severe weather events like this, out in front that just went through OKC Metro. So obviously pretty concerning. A couple of forecast model runs there through 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time that you certainly want to pay attention to if you live in this area. Definitely not something you want to see for the people of central Oklahoma. But yeah, definitely concerning. Let's see what else I can get into here. I know we just kind of, let's go to updraft helicity swaths and let's see what it shows. Okay, so pretty concerning here as well. Let's talk about this for a second, okay? So updraft helicity swaths, okay? What these are is this, all these lines tell us where the storm is rotating, okay? Whether it's rotating for a tornado or whether it's rotating for a very large hail, okay? It could be either one. You have a lot of rotating supercells all the way even into southern Kansas, really packing a punch there across Oklahoma. And then you have this huge updraft swath going right through Oklahoma City at about 7 to 8 o'clock this afternoon Central Time. So that's obviously pretty concerning. When you get these purple and like this one, how you have that really light color purple, and then you have just solid purple all the way through OKC Metro. What that's saying is that the forecast model is telling us, hey, these are going to be rotating storms. Okay, whether it's the rotating with a giant tornado underneath or hail, that's not the concern quite yet. But these pretty much is saying, hey, if you live in this area, be prepared for a rotating storm. Now, obviously, these might not be dead on accurate. It could be off by 30, 40 miles, but even then, you still got these just multiple rotating storms with rotating updrafts that should be concerning if you live in central Oklahoma, especially the OKC Metro. Again, even on the surface-based Cape, you can really catch the dry line here approaching OKC Metro. All those storms now are right in front of this dry line. So you got these rotating supercells right out in front of it, just like it's supposed to be. It's textbook. And that's still quite concerning. But if you guys don't subscribe to this channel, subscribe to this channel. And the reason why I say that is because I'm going to be going live this evening. I will be doing as long as it takes type of deal, multiple hour live stream, live weather coverage this afternoon, talking about the potential for several tornadoes in central Oklahoma, including the Oklahoma City Metro, as well as towns like Lawton. You got Army bases like Fort Sill is in this path, and lots of population. Okay, just lots of population tucked in here. Certainly something to be concerned about. And like I said, we'll be doing a live stream later on today. So if you don't follow this page, please make sure you subscribe. so that when we do go live, you can get that. Let me answer some comments here before we end this forecast live stream. Okay, T Stingray fan asks, okay, what if both of them are tornado and large hail? That is very likely. That is very likely. When you see what he's talking about, he's talking about these updraft helicity swells here. Like I was saying, it could be either tornado or hail. It could be both. That's absolutely a great point. Great point. It easily could be both. This could be both a large tornado and very large hail at the same time going through OKC. So let's see. For tomorrow, the slight risk is big. I'm in it. Could it be enhanced? That's a great question too, Blaze. Pretty early. I don't know. I haven't really looked at tomorrow yet. I'm going to do that as soon as this live stream's over. I want to get everything ready for today, but I know how wide the slight risk is, and they do have a 5% tornado tucked in there as well. It's very possible it goes to enhanced. I know a lot of local meteorologists here around where I live, because I live in the slight risk as well. So I know a lot of them were talking, hey, this could go to enhance tomorrow. We'll talk about that later. Hey, Nate, thanks for coming, buddy. But like I said, guys, I'm going to end this forecast live stream for now. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel. I'm going to be going live when this starts. Okay, when these tornadoes start dropping left and right in central Oklahoma, I will go live. Expect a live stream probably starting around 5 to 6 o'clock this evening, Central Time. But yeah, Nate says we might see a PDS tornado watch for Oklahoma. I would be shocked if we didn't. I would bet $100 that we see a PDS tornado watch. This evening for this area. So, thank you, Julie, for subscribing. But thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys later when we go live. Until next time, guys. I'm Zach. Thank you so much.